Imagine surviving an atomic bomb, the brightest flash you've ever seen, a shockwave powerful enough to flatten buildings, a weapon so destructive that entire cities disappeared beneath it. Most people would consider surviving one a miracle. Tsutomu Yamaguchi survived 2 of them. And no, that's not an exaggeration, it's not a myth, it's not an internet story that grew over time, it's true. And somehow it gets even more unbelievable. Now, in August of 1945, Tsutomu Yamaguchi was a 29-year-old engineer from Japan. He was working in the city of Hiroshima on a business trip. The war was nearing its end, but nobody knew how close or how suddenly everything was about to change. On the morning of August 6th, Yamaguchi was walking toward the shipyard. Then he looked up. He saw something unusual in the sky, an American bomber aircraft. Nothing seemed strange at first, until a small object fell from it. Then came the flash. A blinding white light, brighter than the sun, so bright that people later struggled to describe it. For a split second, the world became light. Then it became fire. The atomic bomb detonated above Hiroshima. The explosion instantly destroyed much of the city. Tens of thousands of people were killed. Buildings vanished. Roads disappeared. Entire neighborhoods were erased. And somehow Tsutomu Yamaguchi survived. He was thrown through the air. His eardrums were damaged. His body was burned. Glass and debris injured him, but he was alive. Against all odds, he was alive. The next day, injured and exhausted, he did what many people would never even consider. He went home. His hometown was Nagasaki, nearly 300 kilometers away. After surviving one of the most devastating explosions in human history, he boarded on a train and traveled home. Most stories would end here, but this doesn't. On August 9th, just 3 days away after Hiroshima, Yamaguchi reported to work. Imagine that. You've survived an atomic bomb, you're injured, your city has been destroyed, and you're still trying to explain to your boss why you look terrible. According to the story, Yamaguchi was describing what happened in Hiroshima, trying to explain the unimaginable, trying to explain a weapon unlike anything the world had ever seen. Wouldn't you know it that his boss was skeptical about it? How could a single bomb destroy an entire city? How could that even be possible? Then the room filled with light. Again! At 11:02 in the morning, a second atomic bomb exploded over Nagasaki. The same man, the same week, the same unimaginable weapon. Twice. And somehow Tsutomu Yamaguchi survived again. Let's just think about the odds for a second here. Not only was he present in Hiroshima during the first bombing, he returned home to Nagasaki in time to experience the second bombing. It's the kind of coincidence that sounds impossible, yet history records it as fact. For decades, Yamaguchi rarely spoke publicly about his experiences. Like many survivors, the memories were painful. But later in life, he began sharing his story, not because he wanted the attention, but because he wanted people to understand the cost of war. Tsutomu Yamaguchi lived until 2010. He was 93 years old. A husband, a father, an engineer, and one of the only people officially recognized as having survived both atomic bombings. Now, most people spend their lives avoiding disaster. Tsutomu Yamaguchi walked away from 2 of the most destructive events in human history. And because surviving one atomic bomb sounds impossible, surviving 2 sounds almost made up. And yet, somewhere in history, there was a man who looked death in the face twice, and somehow went home both times.